what's up?
What's going down, y'all?
Happy late Valentine's Day or whatever.
Well said, man.
That was Friday, I guess. I lose track. I don't give a shit.
I don't care. It's fine. I try to keep up with Valentine's Day just so I know when the next cheap candy day is.
That's exactly what I did.
Yes, sir.
Went out to the Turget.
Yes.
And got my Ghirardelli sea salt caramel chocolate hearts and some cookies, and I'm good.
Yeah, man.
That was my jam.
Ghirardelli 72 is like my favorite thing in the world. God, I love that stuff, man. And I've got some of the 86 at home too. I don't think I'm quite adult enough for dark chocolate. My sister-in-law loves it, so she like my sister-in-law and my dad. My dad was, and my sister-in-law currently is. They are the dark chocolate champions. They want that 200 proof stuff if they can get it.
I've got to have a mix of the two. I can't go full one or the other.
Full blown?
Yeah. Full blown dark.
Yeah, man.
When it comes to the special dark, I mean, I was the one kid in the Hershey's miniatures bag that I didn't mind those, but I've got to bounce back and forth.
I can dig it, man. Yeah, it was.
I'm Jared, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm Josh. Yes, I forgot that part, man. Hey. We got on to candy, man. Nobody cares who we are to talk about candy.
That's one lesson I learned this past Halloween. It felt like the year before, Target just had like these crazy amount after the holiday to mark down. It just lingered and lingered and lingered, and unfortunately they learned a lesson. This past Halloween, this past Valentine's Day, they were like, man, if you weren't there the night of, there's not gonna be much to pick through tomorrow, so if you want it, come get it.
Get it while you can.
Because that's one thing I noticed. I haven't stopped anywhere else. Valentine's is one of those kind of holidays that I don't know that I look forward to the Easter candy. To me, that's the most underrated, specific kind of candies that you can only get this time of year. That's the ones I like the most. So I'll stock up hardcore then. But I guess that's why some people are down on Valentine's the way I was like, I can get this year round. There's nothing special about it.
There's nothing in particular.
Woohoo! It's heart shaped.
Oh man, somebody put. I think it's Simon Holland is the name of the Twitter account, I think. And it was just it's stupid, but I love it because he really does do it every year. And he's like, your annual reminder that heart-shaped pizza is the same price for less pizza. Have a good day.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah dude.
Yeah. It's like a whole 2 or 3 slices missing.
Nah, man. No, y'all keep that mess.
And how about we charge you extra and give you a brownie with it?
Ooh! Ooh, look at that brownie! Get all excited for nothing.
Yeah. I think there's like a little disclaimer when you get the emails from Papa John's, like, heart-shaped is only available in thin crust. Like, a thin crust is what I order anyway.
That's okay, brother. Don't sweat it, brother. On the subject of thin crust pizza pie, man. The Marco's revolution continues because they just keep popping up everywhere, and we got one now. Like it's actually really close to the house because there's the one like between here and there.
Yeah,
it's not terrible, but the one that they've popped up now, man, is where
in College Town had to be one down there somewhere.
Yeah, man, it's what's the best way to describe where it is, man? You know where the Ag Center is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Over where the bypass and all that stuff conjoin, and you've
Yeah.
got like the Ag Center, that little gas station. They literally stuck that sucker right next to that gas station because that's what Marco's does apparently, man. Is they find spots and it's like, yes, this is what we'll do.
Not Noonan Road, but the next road.
It's Noonan Road, but it's
Okay.
it's just right there.
Okay.
You look like you're gonna pull up to the gas pump and you're going to get pizza instead. But man, I had this thing. They had like their deal where medium one toppings were $7, and it's cool too because it's not like a minimum thing. You can get one if you want it. Now I never stop at one because I got to keep this up, man.
Yeah.
But nah, one of the things about Marco's, man, is they have red onions, which I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me one pizza pie with onions on it, and one with red onions on it, and I'm going back and forth and deciding which one's better. And my pizza contest ended the way the dunk contest should have.
Yeah.
It was a tie.
Yeah.
God, it was awesome, man.
Yeah. that's where I was at. I guess we watched I watched the skills competition last night.
Yeah, man.
Watched the 3-point. That's my favorite of the three things they do. And they had the slam dunk. And I guess my first thing is when it comes to the skills competition, I just wish they would stick to the full court shot because the guys weave down, do the pass, and I guess one reason why they do it is because for the most part at that point the guys are still kind of in a tie, but when they cut to that shot of behind the net and the ball going through, I just lose track of what's going on. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, man.
And you go back down, do the layup, and go back down and shoot the three. And I just wish they would stick to like at least could there be an option of just having like just one stationary camera to just watch the whole thing play out, just so I can keep track of what's happening.
Yeah, I know that's my thing with wrestling. I would absolutely love it if you had what I would call a live cam, which basically is like, hey, if you bought a ticket and we're sitting here, you would have a fixed position. This is where we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I just want to be on the hard cam all night, man. Yeah. I love that kind of stuff. But I'm with you. Like the chest pass thing is cool, but it is a little, and it happened to them too, because you had a couple of dudes get like crossed up when they were going back down, and it's like, man, it's like tricky for y'all too, isn't it?
It's not that easy.
Yeah, man. But
I'm always terrible at relay races because I always forget what I'm supposed to do. Get halfway down, like, oh wait, I'm not done. Oh crap.
Well, shoot, man. But yeah, it'd be like trying to shoot the layup in as a three, and it would be no good. But I'm with you on the 3-point competition. We talked about it, man. The 3-point competition I love because it is, who wins. It's the same thing that I hate about college football, where anything that doesn't come down to judges, I like that better.
Yes, and especially with that being the main event, I'm like, we're going to be here all night. I like the skills competition. I like the 3-point because you know whoever has the fastest time or hits the most is the winner.
That's who wins.
And I think we've had the conversation a few times about the difference between Olympic sport and Olympic games. There are some of the games that are sports, but they're all games. And anything that can be determined, the outcome by a judge, to me is not sport.
See, that's how I feel too. People get really huffy about it, but I'm like, no, that's not a sport. That's a competition.
Yeah,
that's how that works, man. Games have rules. Sports are games that have an athletic component. But if you've got, if basically, let me rephrase that. If the only way, because boxing is damn sure a sport, but every now and again you got to go to the judges so nobody dies.
It's technicality.
But it's not the only way that you can win. It doesn't have to go to the judges. If you knock a dude out, you knock that dude out. But if judges are the only thing, that's figure skating. Figure skating is a competition, but sport, it's not. Just only by just the definitions of like, figure skaters are athletic. I know they are, but see, you have to understand. People always use that baseball's not a sport, and they try to use it as an insult. I don't take it as an insult. I know baseball's a game. That's why I like it so much, because I love games. Yeah. But anyway, man, I'm totally with you on that.
I guess I would be a terrible slam dunk contest judges because I would be, especially for somebody that can straight up ball. I'm the worst person that can judge, because I couldn't even come close to doing any of that. But for me, if it takes you 3 chances to get your dunk in, there's no way you're getting anything over an 80.
I can dig that. My thing with judging,
or an 8, I guess.
I know what you meant, man. 80%, you good?
Yeah.
I think my thing with judging the dunk contest is the same reason I'd be so god awful at boxing, because I love watching boxing. I enjoy it, but watching it, basically once they give you the nice super slow-mos in between rounds, that's the only time I get caught up, because it's so fast. I can't see what's, for example, what's his face, homie from the Bucks, when he went over Giannis and like kissed it off the backboard. Man, I didn't catch that at all. And to be fair, the judges did, because they were calling. I think it was Reggie Miller was calling it out. He's like, he touched the backboard, y'all. He touched the backboard. Watch this, and that's cool. I mean, they do better at that stuff than I would, man. But it's so quick. I would never see it in real time, man.
Yeah, I like. There was a special touch with I was gonna remember the guy's name. I forgot that he is. because it was one of those things I had it on, but I got like that on stuff on the computer. I think a podcast going, and what essentially the best I can describe it was his white men can't jump get up.
Oh yes, yeah, he definitely he went dressed as
Yeah.
I can't think of that character's name, but yeah, that was
Yeah.
totally it, man.
Yeah, I'm like seeing this happen. I was like, is that seriously what they're doing?
Yeah, that's totally what he did. I love
Yeah.
that. That was cool, man. For like, I mean, I know Dwight Howard wins the props contest. It's really the story apparently that came out about that because this did come out before Kobe passed. That Dwight Howard had asked him if he would be involved in his dunk contest, and he's like, "Yeah, I got you, man." And the idea, apparently, the original idea was for Kobe to give him the cape. And then when he pops the S off with the 24 on it, that was supposed to be a surprise for Kobe. And I'm like,
Yeah.
don't y'all tell me that stuff. Don't
Yeah.
tell me that stuff. That's
Yeah.
that's brutal, man. It's great. It's a cool idea, though. And just because people love that, well, Kobe hated Dwight Howard. Dwight was soft. And he's like, yeah, he was. But they made up. They got over it. It's fine, man. Anyway, I'm with you. This is the first dunk contest I've watched in years. I haven't watched it, and I love the 3-point contest, but man, the dunks don't usually do anything for me. And I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I thought that the whole Aaron Gordon got robbed. I mean, he did, but only if we're given 2 trophies. Because if you're telling me that Jones shouldn't have got it, I disagree completely. I thought he was fantastic. But to be fair, we're Atlanta kids. I'm a Dominique kid. I'll take power over glide any day of the week. I've always been more impressed with that. I'm not trying to diss Michael. I do like that everybody spent all weekend telling you, yeah, 88 was rigged. And I'm like, it sure was.
We're familiar with the slam dunk contest being rigged in Chicago.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's like we got to keep this stuff going. But
Yeah.
anyway, I was telling Jared, the biggest frustration I've got is not that Aaron Gordon didn't win it. I'm with you. I wish they would have just called it a draw. You know, like Dwayne Wade tried to get them to do, and they like pretty much accosted him and threw him back in his seat. And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
It's like, man, there's 1,000 events going on All-Star Weekend. I'm trying to get to mine, and I can't leave. But that's essentially what it boils down to. It's like, are we going to be here all night?
Yeah,
You know?
I thought he made a great point. He's like, you can have All-Star Game MVPs, but you telling me you can't split this? And he's right. And I thought he was exactly right. But my other thing was just because I'm a jerk, but this is how I think about stuff, man. Gordon did not deserve to not get a trophy. Jones definitely earned the trophy, so give each one of them a trophy. And then what happens next year if they both get in there again, or they both sign up? Everybody would push for them to get in there again to get the tie break. Man, that mess would be awesome, man. We would all be like jumping out our seats. That would be cool, man. So I hate that they wasted that opportunity because I really don't know why. I don't know if there's a cash prize or they didn't want to give out 2 checks, or I don't know what the problem was, but that was a ball dropped.
Because that's the trophies for each competition is the same.
Yeah, it's the
thing.
same one. Don't tell
So,
me you got that mold. You can't make another one ever.
You got to have the means because they look expensive. Oh, did they look expensive?
Yeah, you're telling you, they are top of the line. Well, the thing is, it's kind of messed up. The only trophy I can think of in sport that is more sad than the dunk 3-point skills competition trophy.
We painted the ball for you.
Man, dude, have you seen the AFC and NFC championship trophies?
It's like a outline of a football.
Dude, it's that freaking horrible paperweight looking thing, man. It looks like a freaking hood ornament from an old Chrysler. They are awful. That is the worst.
Yeah.
The Lombardi's cool. They're like, the real trophy is cool, but man, I can't believe how chintzy and awful those conference championship trophies are.
Yeah.
And see, I feel that way about the Dr. Pepper can for football. And the saddest thing there is and this sucks, but the actual national championships, the real ones that the NCAA sponsors, dude, those trophies are dope looking. They look so cool, and they're also their uniforms. So when you go in schools that have won multiples, and they're all, man, it's a bummer, man. Because we need a big gold round thing that's the logo of the player. Oh God, it's so bad.
It gets to the point where you got these guys out there. They're doing the 3-point. They're doing the slam dunk contest, and I'm having those thoughts of we had a Major League Baseball All-Star game in a tie a few years back because it gets to the point okay, we've got to stop. At some point, somebody's either going to twist an ankle, do God knows what. I mean, and for a slam dunk contest. It's it's like, at what point do we just say like, okay, you both win?
Yeah, for me, if you got to go to that tie break, once they each go to the tie break and get a 50, that's when you call it, because it's ridiculous after that. This is stupid. This is what we should do, man.
Mm-hmm.
But oh shoot, I don't know what I was going to say. It didn't really matter though. It was still fun. It was a fun night. It's just I hate how cruddy that was for everybody.
They go to the bonus round, and it was Gordon.
Yeah, he was the Orlando kid.
And his thing off the backboard was like, you were saving that? Why didn't you lead with that, man? That's what it blew my mind. I was like, what are they, you kept that in the back pocket?
It was interesting that I thought Jones had one of the snatches where he cleared the two kids and yanked the thing with one hand, goes underneath his leg. That was absolutely sick.
Yeah.
But then his last one,
that should have won it as far as I'm concerned.
Gordon being there at the end, I was totally okay with, because his taco fall dunk sucked. I don't know. I don't know why everybody is so, we got robbed. You got to be kidding me. And especially when you had White Bread McCool for the Bucks actually clear Giannis. Now I understand there's about 5 inches difference between Giannis and Taco, but hey man, I didn't say you had to jump over Taco Fall.
Yeah.
But it's like, nah man, it's like, no, he cleared him. Bullshit. He freaking last shot on him, man, like Adam Cole hitting Ciampa tonight, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I thought that Jones's last dunk, which basically to me was I thought what he was going for was 88 on a platter. Because you've got Jordan's free throw done. He was 1 foot over the line. I know he was. Yes, he was 1 foot over the line. But he still got that throw down, didn't he? And Mike never did that. And it's weird, too, because Mike had good, he wasn't Sean Kemp, but nobody was. But Jordan's in-game dunks were always more impressive to me. Now, the still photography of a couple of those from 88, it's fantastic. Because it's just like, all that stuff is great. But you know what? Technique's out, too. There's a couple of his, man, I want to say it's 1991 Upper Deck. I think it's the first ever set they did of basketball cards.
Yeah.
That Dominique Wilkins card from that set is absolutely fantastic. It is awesome. Sean Kemp has a real good one too, but his might have been I think it was that. Now I don't remember. It's either the first or second year they did them, but Kemp's got a great looking one too, man.
Yeah.
Anyhow, sorry to get sidetracked.
But point is, I had a good time watching it.
Oh man,
I was going into it not expecting. After the two things I was there to see were over, I was kind of like, I guess let's leave it on, and it ended up being a lot of fun. So,
yeah, man, it's good stuff, dude. Like the Futures game was great because I know they don't call it that, but in baseball they call it the Futures game. So unfortunately, that's what I call all of them. Yeah. And all that stuff was great. I thought Trey did great. Trey and Luka was a blast. Luka's bank at halftime was ridiculous. That was so awesome, man. Like, you got to be kidding me that he got that to go in. But that was quite fun. And then the game just devolving into the free, just the open court dunk contest. That was cool, man. Yeah. I thought all that was super neat. And I don't know. It was fun. But I love All-Star Weekend. Every All-Star game that's not the Pro Bowl is great. And I think everybody agrees on that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think one of the elements is that for everybody else it's a break. And for the Pro Bowl, it's after the season's over, which it would have to be. Man, I'm going to play no exhibition in the middle of the season. Everybody's already hurt. So I don't think that it's not like me advocating that they should move. They shouldn't. They should just get rid of it.
Have some type of competition amongst players that's, like I don't know, it wouldn't necessarily be a punt, pass, and kick, but something like that. Yeah. I think it'd be way more entertaining and a lot more fun just to see what people can do, and then to have to be a game, just kind of like, nah, not interested.
Yeah, I think if you have to have a game, if you really want to have a Pro Bowl,
the Madden tournament,
that would be awesome if they would just do the Madden tournament. That'd be great. Or just do five-a-side, man. You do not need trench players, man. Those guys kill themselves all year. Let them go home, man. Mm-hmm. That's just that would just do that fun stuff. Do arena football, man. But yeah, Madden would be great. I'd tune in for that. I'd watch the heck out of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm with you. All-Star Weekend's been a lot of fun. came over for the NXT show, so I got the All-Star game on the DVR, and I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I'm probably tomorrow.
when I'll get around to it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. The NXT show tonight was, they did the thing again.
It's what all NXT shows are. I agree, man.
It just it's freaking cool. It was after a week where Monday night kicked off, and that was what a lot of people are forgetting about the whole Shayna getting herself back over thing, is it followed Asuka and Becky Lynch having a kick-ass match to open up Raw. And the best sense I can make out of it, and a point I haven't heard anybody else make, so I feel kind of proud of myself. To me, it feels like somebody coming backstage to Shayna and be like, "You didn't win the Rumble, and worse than that, we kind of made you look bad, and worse than that, kind of stupid. So, have you got any ideas on what you want to do? Anything you want to do? Anything you want to do, we'll do." She's like, "Oh, I've got an idea. I'm gonna bite freaking Becky Lynch's neck off." And they're like, "She's such a kidder."
Yeah, she's funny. That's Shayna. She's a wackadoodle.
That's why we like her.
Yeah.
That's why we love her. Go out and do that, okay? Yeah, you can do it. Oh, and then they're watching the monitor. Oh, she's gonna do it. Oh my God, she did. But so, yeah, it was like one of those kind of things where, much like the All-Star festivity stuff, I was kind of like half paying attention, half had it on, like looking up, like, oh God, that's gross.
I totally missed all of that. I just saw the picture making the rounds, and then got talking with the man about what was going on. And I'm with you. I totally love it. I think I say kudos to. She's not Becky Two Belts anymore. Kudos to Becky Big Balls for being like, yeah, let's do that. That'd be cool. Because, I mean, the idea of, like, women wrestlers blading, I understand. Vince, I don't think Vince will ever go for that. And the thing is, I don't know if any of the workers would want to go for that. But the whole, it reminded me of, like, remember when Jericho was talking about the match he wanted to do with CM Punk, where he, like, ties him to the rope and, like, tattoos him. And Vince was like, no, the blood is gross. And he's like, because he's trying to, like, get across, like, the violation of leaving a mark on somebody. So the idea of Becky Lynch being like, yeah, man, bite the back of my head until it draws blood. That's cool. Good on her, man. Because people used to always get that badge of honor for that. And I think they deserved it. And I think people deserve it now, especially in the era where you can't really do that. So good for her. That's like, dang, that's a good idea. To get Shayna back over, and good on her for having the stones to be like, yeah, it'll work, let's do it. Awesome.
To have the hair color that Becky Lynch gives herself, and for there to be that as much blood as there was, you can actually see the blood in that hair. It's like, oh my Lord, that's a lot.
You would have to, just because the whole thing, it's like, it reminded me of like Corny in the white suit, where Dusty's, damn kid, that's a little blood, little juice. But that's the whole thing where he tells that story. He'd never done it before, and he's under the ring, and he blades himself, and then touches his forehead, and there's nothing there. And he was explaining the story that, after the fact, they told him, nah, man, you like gig, and then go like that, and blow real hard, and it'll help. So unfortunately, when he touched his forehead, it says, oh crap, and just got the crap out of himself, so he just bled a gusher in a white suit, as the song says. So just as soon as Shayna pops up and she's got that Muda chin, it's like she had to get some meat out of there, man. Totally like, whoa, goodness me.
So, but that, I think it's good stuff to come from
totally.
that show.
I totally agree, man.
And sit down and watch the NXT show tonight, and just had a good time watching it the way they usually do. It never disappoints.
There have been, as far as this show, I'll just stick to this show in particular, there were a couple of things that I really wanted to see happen. I'll say three, and I missed one of them, and apparently they didn't get a finish in the Tegan Knox Dakota Kai match.
Some chick from the Mae Young Classic showed up and helped her win. That I don't know how that's going to work her into this.
Well, if we want to get away from that for a while, that was my whole thing. Is I wanted it wrapped up.
Yeah.
I wanted the whole thing wrapped up, and one of the reasons I wanted it wrapped up, we'll get to in a second. I wanted Finn Balor to beat Johnny Gargano. It ties into what we were just talking about a moment ago, and it ties into what we're about to talk about. And I wanted Gargano to double cross Ciampa.
Yeah.
3 boxes, 3 check
Yeah.
marks. I guess you could call the first one a check mark. But the whole thing with Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai is just get away from it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because the blood feud between them completely mirrors the old school blood feud and now back on again blood feud between Ciampa and Gargano. I can't imagine that we haven't talked about it on here before, because we have been discussing this for a long time.
Yeah.
That no, Tommaso Ciampa winning the title again is a stupid idea, because you've got the personal issue money maker already in the bank with that guy. He does not need the title, and that should be the whole thing, because that's all. Oh, Ciampa, Goldie, I'm daddy, and you're Goldie. Goldie's coming. I'm coming for you, baby. Mm-hmm. So the fact that Gargano was like, you keep being obsessed with that title, I'm obsessed with killing you.
Yeah, we'll keep you from it.
Oh, I can't wait. So I'm really happy that's the direction they went in. I love Adam Cole to death. I enjoyed that match, but I swear to God, they have got to stop doing the kicking out of each other's finishes 9,000 times. And I really do mean each other, because I killed Gargano for this as well. But Gargano will
be a problem.
It's overdone. Gargano will let you kick out all his stuff too. But man, it's bad enough when it's every finisher plus Dynamite. But every single time you bring the freaking Red Dragon into it, and they hit their, high-low or whatever it's called, and they kick out of that too. Especially this one really made me mad, because when they chucked Ciampa back in the ring, it looked, and maybe I'm totally wrong here, man. Maybe he had to kick out, but it looked like he was close enough to the rope to put his foot on it, which is totally different than kicking out. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're going to turn around 2 movesets later and kick out of the man. It's like, dude, that one, just save yourself with getting to the rope. So that then when you're going to kick out of the second thing you shouldn't have kicked out of, it really resonates and really shows up. That's what I thought, man. And I understand you were building to Gargano. I get that, but it's like, I don't know. It's weird to me to have the Undisputed Era come down and do all those shenanigans, and then have Ciampa come down. Gargano come down and have nothing to do with any of that. It's like, nah, that would have worked. It would have been a lot cooler if the outside interference was actually Johnny Gargano. But at the same time, you know what? That wouldn't work, because he need the belt in there for some reason. Well, hey, have Cole try to whack him in the face with it, but I don't know. You need the referee down. Yeah, you have the ref bump. It makes all of us think you're going to bring UE down, and he goes and grabs his belt, and it's in the ring, and you can have the tug of war. It all would have worked. Anyway, that's a stupid complaint, but that does drive me nuts, man.
Anything that's involving Ciampa and Gargano, it just seems to be all the kick-out stuff that it just... I shouldn't notice it, I guess, as much as you do when they're in the ring. It's like, you just... this is just way overdone. I
completely agree. I think Johnny Gargano, as far as his scripting and his structure, he's Johnny doing too much, and it's just, I like the guy, but that drives me nuts with all his it's stuff that Kenny Omega gets killed for all the time, and it's like, so I've seen it. I've seen a couple of Omega matches where I thought that happened. I don't remember the last time I saw a Gargano match where it didn't happen. Yeah. And with Ciampa, it was the same thing. It's just like, man, y'all don't have to do all this, but they landed in the right spot, so that part's good. And unfortunately, but I just skipped right over my favorite match of the night, which won't surprise any of you if you've ever heard us review NXT before. I know you know where I'm going with it, but anyway, I'm sorry to just dive right to the end of the show. But those are the 3 things that tie together, so it's important to.
Man, I just think kind of. Just having more of the WrestleMania picture painted just kind of helps with Rhea Ripley and Bianca doing their thing, and I've come a long way with Bianca Belair, but still, I was like, the rumors started popping up here and there this past week with her being added as a 3-way. I was like, nah, that's I don't like that idea at all.
I definitely like the idea of the one-on-one better. Mm-hmm. That's why Charlotte's little shot to Belair on the way out of the building, I'm like, oh no.
Don't tell me they're going to do that.
Oh no, I don't want them to make that a 3-way, but
I seriously doubt they will, but the, that was good. But then freaking Undisputed Era and the Bruiserweights. I mean, that's just it don't get much better than that.
I have ever since we started doing this show, for probably the entire length of time we've been friends, for as long as I've been watching pro wrestling, I am a product of the soil on which I was raised. I am a Jim Barnett guy. I love tag team wrestling more than anything else you could possibly give me in professional wrestling. It's not close. I hate that NXT is the only division worth a darn, but they are worth such a shiny darn.
They're so good.
It's okay. Totally okay. Man, that mess was awesome. And on the subject, I don't mean to bury the lead, but I will tell y'all my favorite thing from that match. And I told Jared afterwards that what had gone on. Whenever you have Pete Dunne knock Matt Riddle off the apron, and then Riddle gets back in, and I think it was Kyle O'Reilly ducks out the way, and he winds up wiping out Pete Dunne. They absolutely got me, because I'm like, I don't want them to break this team up yet, man. And I totally bought it, and I was concerned until it was over. So it was like, that was quite good. Oh, man, that match was so freaking good, man. I can't even believe it. I mean, I can believe it because Red Dragon have been unbelievable for as long as I've known what they were. Pete Dunne, I love. Matt Riddle, I overwhelmingly love. And apparently, we talked about it with like him and Keith Lee. I love that tag team, too. And I understand Keith Lee, even at that time, it's like, nah, this dude's ready for solo stuff. And clearly, he was and is, and that's great. So it's like, we can't leave them together, but they were still enjoyable.
Yeah.
But this... maybe you can keep together for a while. So
so.
I love it. Maybe then you give them the belt. So it's like, yeah, we're going to keep them together for a while. It's like, woohoo! But, oh, man, that was so much fun, dude.
Yeah. I had that picture in my head of Pete getting up and just them fighting with each other, and then that caused them to lose. Like, man, that's weak.
I 100% bought it. I was really concerned, and I'm like, I'm so happy that that's not what they did. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and then Bobby Fish just getting killed every other second. I was like, man, this is just it was one of the best things on it.
Bobby Fish had one of those spots, like you're saying, where he just kept getting hit by everybody, and it reminded me of back in the day, man, they would do the Bullet Club train, where you get the guy in the corner, and Marty Scurll would call for the Bullet Club train, and they would all run in and like hit him with a clothesline or something like that, and Marty would go third. The guy would pick his foot up and kick Marty in the face.
Yeah.
So then they start back over again, and the first 2 or 3 guys hit him, and Marty is kind of like halfway chugging and gets kicked in the face again. It's like every single time it was Marty's turn, he got hit. I'm like, this cracks me up, man. It's just awesome. But that's what Fish had a spot in there where just like, I think all 3 people either intentionally or inadvertently wound up kicking him in the face in like a 4-second interval. Like, God dang, y'all. Poor Bobby.
Yeah. It's a really good counters out of double submission stuff that Matt Riddle's like kneeing people in the face to roll him up, and a few spots like that were really good.
I thought that there was a lot of rolling, like you're talking about, between Riddle and O'Reilly, which totally makes sense. And man, they made that mess look good. Oh, it looks so cool. It was like Angle Benoit stuff, and I always loved that. So you can give me as much of that as you want, especially with guys that are both like trained in how to do that, because it just looks like there's a couple of those submissions, like that freaking King Kong knee drop off the post, and then into that freaking like heel hook. I think it's a heel hook, man. I keep wanting to say Bobby O'Reilly. Sorry. Kyle O'Reilly makes that look so nasty. He just gets that freaking deep hook on the foot. And it's like, I can't believe that doesn't hurt. How in the world is that not... makes me like crazy. I love it, man. And he makes that knee drop look good, too. It's like everything they do is cool. We were talking about, like, earlier, there's just the performance of certain moves, and, like, I'm not a big fan of... It was Tommaso Ciampa was doing like the knee strikes up against the rope, and it's just I was telling Jared, I was like, if your name's not Omega, you shouldn't do that, because nobody makes it look as good as him. But then on the other hand, you've got like I think it's the Ushikoroshi, that like vertical suplex neck breaker that Adam Cole does.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks do that. AJ Styles does that. Kenny Omega does that. Adam Cole does it. And they all look cool, man.
Yeah.
And then back to Ciampa to give him props. That little, I think it's called the Schwein. I think that's the name of that move. But that little like tuck, like break thing that he did it on the apron tonight. But that's one that the people that use that, I mean, Okada is the best with them wrapping him around, like dropping him on his knee. It's incredible looking. But that's a cool looking move, like pretty much any time anyone does it. I love that one, man.
And NXT, I don't know if they ordered like some really good reinforced tables tonight or what was going on, but took some work to get the announce table to break, and then in the Tegan Knox Dakota Kai match, that was the finish, was Tegan Knox onto the table that didn't break. So, and I know that she doesn't weigh anything, so that's what everybody will say. But nah, she got thrown pretty damn hard, and it should have broke. It just didn't. And that was kind of the crappy thing. Is like, not only did it not break, but the table rolls over, so you can't see what's supposed to be happening. Just like, oh god,
it's just like 0 for 2.
Yeah.
What were the table spots? We were talking about we were talking about Finn's shotgun drop kick to Gargano, and how we would have loved it if it would have been like, basically just imagine Johnny Gargano flying to the concourse like Rick James style. Yeah. But the other one was I can't believe that horrifying bump that Ciampa took so early on, and that like 3/4. It's hard to call it 3/4. Mm-hmm. Basically 3/4 of how far over he got. Yeah. But it looked like he ate that thing with the back of his head.
Oh,
it looked
onto the
yes, like that little, like almost kind of wheelbarrow German suplex into like the thing, and it looked exactly like what it was supposed to look like. I'm glad that they were, when you watch the replay. I mean, it ain't comfortable, but he did such a good job of taking that bump. He got his head up just a little bit and got his shoulders back, but holy crap, in real time, it did not look like that.
Looked like it could have been really bad.
I agree, man.
Like he was channeling his let me show you how you really open up the back of your neck, Becky.
Oh, man.
Let me show you how it's done, brother.
I'm right here, man. It was crazy, man. It was a great show, and I am sorry to get fussy about the main event, but main events make me mad, though, and part of it is they almost have to in NXT, because it is like, there's just so much good stuff that happens over the course of the night that you got to come up with something to blow it off, and it's like, well, once they come up with something that's not, I'll kick out of everything you've ever done 14 times, and you kick out of everything that I've ever done 13 times, and it's like, all right, man.
Yep.
But it's still great. I hate to sound complainy, and I'm very happy that I'm glad that Adam Cole has this scalp, if you want to call it that, because I love the idea of not every former NXT champ, but as many former NXT champs as you want to bring back to have this guy win, to just shine him up, do it. That's exactly what you should do. I love it. That's the reason I wanted Finn Balor to win tonight, man, is to move. I want Finn to be the one now that's all like, because that's the whole thing. That's Cole have come out like, man, I've spent the last year telling all of you that I'm the best NXT champion there's ever been. Well, Tommaso Ciampa wanted to tell you that he was, because he never lost the title. Well, guess what, Hondo? I just gave you a title match, and you didn't win it. And then have the angle be Finn come out and be like, 392 or whatever it is, however many days he had, 292 or whatever the record is, and be all like, still a bit of conjecture on this, who's the best champ of all time, and I don't know if you can book the timing of it right or not, man, but it would be cool if you could book it to where whatever the last pay-per-view before Adam Cole gets within, like, you know, it doesn't have to be the night.
Approaching the record.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't have to be the night.
On the night.
It'd be great if you could do it, and it's okay if you want to lie about it. I'll totally play along.
Yeah.
But that would be awesome. Like, conceivably, you win it tonight. You know, it's not another pay-per-view before now and then. That'd be awesome. I think that'd be great, and I love the idea because they were saying tonight, like, Nakamura and Samoa Joe, the only 2-time NXT champs, and then it's all like, okay, well, I make Adam Cole Bruno. That's what I would. And I'm not saying he's got to keep it for 8 years. I'm just thinking that, like, for the longest time,
you know, in this day and age, a year reign is about 8.
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And Triple H loves them, obviously, because Shayna got one and Asuka got one, and it's like he's good about just leaving the sucker alone.
Yeah.
And no telling how long Ciampa would have had it if he hadn't gotten hurt. But so much the better because it's all worked out. It's great stuff, man. NXT is genuinely great stuff. I love them, man.
Yeah. What's up?
That's exactly what's up. My God.
Well, I was gonna whine and complain about the Houston Astros, but I just don't care enough to bother with it. And it's such an old thing right now, but nobody really cares.
My thing with the Astros is real simple, man. We hate Barry Bonds because he's a cheater, and we hate the Astros because they're cheaters. What do the Astros and Bonds have in common? They play baseball. We only care about this in baseball.
Yeah.
Because Brady and Belichick are still celebrated as the best ever in their field, and nobody cares. And I'm like, that's totally awesome to not care, but keep not caring. Same exact thing. And write it down, remember it. This is good. This is what's happening. Everything that's going on in Houston right now is so that literally when the exact same story about the Boston Red Sox comes out 3 months from now, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Everybody's given permission to not care.
Yeah.
And it's totally okay to not care if the Red Sox were cheat. Hey man, everybody does stuff like this.
It's just a lot of grandstanding among a lot of teams and players. Like, pump those brakes, because something's going to come out somewhere that we would never do that. And that's what I guess got me about it, was the apology thing that they did. It was like, man, we never would have done it if we knew you were going to find out. Are we cool?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So this is so pitiful, man. And it seems it all feels real personal to me in that, apparently the owner of the Houston Astros is incredibly unpopular among his other group of, and that's always what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
Always. Because John Henry's not exactly the most liked guy, but when the Red Sox are good, everybody makes more money.
Yeah.
So we'll overlook that. And Steinbrenner's very popular too. It's just that the name Steinbrenner is so synonymous with baseball bad guy. They just play it up. So it's better for everyone to do those things. But apparently the guy that owns the Astros is hated. So this is our
more reason.
Yeah, it's Donald Sterling. This is our chance, man, because that was always going to be the thing with Donald Sterling. It's like, you know how we've made you these sweet offers to buy the Clippers from you, and you keep turning them down? Okay.
Now we're taking it.
You had your chance. When we offered you the money, it wasn't, well, okay, I guess we can't have them now. It's like, well, okay, if we can't buy them, we'll take them.
Yeah.
Have fun, Don. Yeah, prick. But I don't remember what else. But yeah, I'm just totally with you. It's like, that's always been my thing, is like, the cheating stuff doesn't bother me. Drugs and sports don't bother me, man. And yes, that includes the NFL, because honest to God, I think like HGH and definitely THC, if you want to call it that. Yeah. And steroids are a little different, because HGH will give you the same things that steroids, as far as the recuperative ability. HGH will just do it for you. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, well, if you take the steroids, you still got to go to the gym. Well, it used to be true. It's not now. HGH will grow you a new body. It's insane what that stuff does. But I don't mind. I don't do that for a living, man. Yeah. And if I did do that for a living, just on the competitive edge, I can see why people do it. Yeah. But man, as far as like reducing your misery index from playing pro football, hey man, you do whatever you need to do.
I mean, at what point does the popular thing amongst, I guess the new, it's not considered a steroid, it's not considered a growth hormone, but at what point do stem cells get lumped into that category? But as far as like regeneration, and that's straight up,
that's what
regeneration. They are. And that's apparently how a lot of people are able to come back from spinal stenosis now. At what point is that considered illegal? Just because, I mean, you're stupid not to do it.
The fascinating thing about stem cells is that right now, for basic human folks, they're pretty close to illegal, but basically all it is they're just priced out of your range.
You go down to Panama to get it, and it's only, the Elysium, like, upper tier that can even do that, so it's, might as well be.
Yeah, you can get them here as long as you can afford them, but it's like, it's cool. We'll all be doing that stuff eventually, because no one wants to die, apparently. But But yeah, none of that stuff bothers me, man. For exactly the point you're making, and also with the competitive angle. And this is a stupid thing to bring up, man. But I'm just getting so sick and so burnt out on the. I can't believe that you got the Astros banging on trash cans and Barry Bonds taking steroids, and all Pete Rose did was bet on baseball. He let him in the Hall of Fame. And I wish they, don't get me wrong, I wish they would let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame just so him and everybody else would shut the hell up about it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But this is the problem I have with trying to correlate those two things. There is no correlation, and here's why. Why is it the cardinal sin of baseball to take money or to bet money on the outcome of a game? Because of the Black Sox. Why is that? Because the Black Sox took a whole lot of money to throw the game. Pete Rose would never throw the game. He's too competitive. He bet on himself to win. He bet on himself to win. And I have no problem believing that. I think that's exactly true because Pete Rose's ego wouldn't let him throw a game.
Yeah.
But opening the door means you open the door. And because Pete Rose wouldn't do it, the next 150 guys would. That's your problem, is it ruins the outcome of the game, which doesn't matter anyway because it's all work anyhow, but you don't want your fans to know this. So the fact that what Pete Rose did opens it up for people to tank and lose games intentionally. Who the hell's taking steroids to lose? Yeah. Who's taking performance-enhancing drugs to be worse? So you see, with that logic, in my opinion, what Pete Rose did is infinitely worse than what any of these people. You're not going to bang a trash can to give the guy the wrong signs. Yeah. You're trying to get an edge and you're trying to win. Pete Rose just wanted the motivation. Maybe he did. But that's why gambling is the number one cardinal sin of all time. Well, the reason is because the owners bet and they don't want you messing up the odds. That's the deal. It's like, no. Yeah. Us 4 people get to make money off of it, not you plebeians. Yeah. But anyhow, that's an incredibly unpopular opinion because Pete Rose is a Jesus Christ-like figure to the people that love him. But I'm not wrong about that. That's not my opinion either. Nobody takes performance-enhancing drugs to go out and throw a game. Yeah. But you'll take money to do that. Oh, God. I know that. If you're a Pete Rose fan, I apologize because if your testes hurt right now, I get it. I get it because people don't like hearing that, but that is the stone cold truth. That's all there is to it. There's a reason that every locker room says, don't take money, guys. Well, Michael Jordan would never throw a game for money. You're right. And you're right about Pete Rose, too. The problem is guys that aren't Michael Jordan or Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Anyhow, man, that's silly, but that's what I'm venting about. Is I'm just with you. The Astros thing is just stupid. But I'm on everybody in the league that's all like you, Darvish, had a great post about it, and he's like, if you're in the Olympics and you cheat, they take the gold medal back. And he ain't wrong. But see, that's my whole. But that's the other thing is and it's the reason that no players and they haven't taken the World Series trophy back because then I don't care how happy and dandy. Oh, cool, this is over. All right, we can move on. You take Houston's, you got to take Boston's too, and they don't want to do that because John Henry's their boy, and it's. I understand. It's like no, we can only do stuff now that we're going to see to the end of the line. Yeah. We're not taking JH's trophy back.
Yeah. When I first heard about it, my first thought was like, well, Astros this time brought a gun to a gunfight. Then you just realize how big it was. Like, well, Jesus Christ, guys, y'all are really good at this cheating thing.
Hey, man, two years ago, the Red Sox had a guy in the third base box with a fucking iPhone, and everybody thought it was funny that anyone made a big deal out of it. Everyone thought it was funny, and I'm like, it should still be funny. You should jump off a cliff over that, or you should be okay with this. None of it matters. It's totally fine. But I will say this, if the owner of the Astros is as big a prick as they say he is, and this is what they're going, hey, man, knock it out.
He came off as one.
Oh, man, I thought so, too. Yeah. I thought so, too, man, because it's like, yeah, okay. But my favorite quote here was, we do not believe that it gave us a competitive advantage at all. Okay, then why the hell were you wasting your time doing it? That makes no sense at all, man.
It was 2 seconds after that. Well, we never said it didn't affect results. Like, there's data that shows that it did.
It's like, dude, get out of here, man. Oh, yeah, they might have helped them. Go, my God.
you fired the coach first thing, and that wasn't enough to get the league off your sack. then you have to sit down.
Yeah.
And go, well, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, if you'd sold the team instead of firing the coach, this would be over now because this is about you.
Yeah.
I like it. This is actually quite funny.
We want to take you down.
That's right, man.
That's what's up.
That is what's up, y'all. Thank you for watching.
Y'all be cool.
You.